withheld from babies during their earliest stages of formation, there is a greater chance they will die, even if they are properly nourished. And research reveals that suicide rates skyrocket among those who are disconnected from friends, family, and even church. We need other humans. Communication is what makes our relationships possible. Even the simple, nonverbal communication of a smile can be a matter of life and death in this world. In recent decades, a puzzle has presented itself. While the ability to communicate with one another is far easier now than at any point in human history, we are, more and more, experiencing the dark pangs of loneliness and isolation. The volume of communication is not bringing joy or meaning to life. We can gather information, share ideas, spread opinions, and disseminate lies quicker and easier than ever, all by virtue of electronic and virtual communication. We can Google information about a coming concert while texting a friend on the other side of the country and listening to a podcast. Though we may have incredible ways of communicating, we rarely know how to talk with one another. Though we communicate, we do not necessarily converse. The conversational atrophy brought on by information overload is bearing demonstrable consequences on the fabric of human society. After the 2016 election, it was discovered that 47% of those who voted for Hillary Clinton did not have one close relationship with someone who voted for Donald Trump. Similarly, some 31% of Donald Trump supporters had no close friends who supported Hillary Clinton. We have become a culture of walls, not a culture of bridges. The political left and right no longer dialogue with each other. Such information overload has, in turn, led to a breakdown in religious communities. Different generations increasingly look skeptically upon one another. Instead of talking with, we talk over or about. And though God is always building unity among His children, we seem to be increasingly working against Him. The ability of humans to talk in dignified and respectful ways has fallen on hard times as well. It isn't that the amount of information or words has declined, but rather that deep, transformative, and redemptive communication has fallen victim to the new realities of modern culture. Whatever the cause, maybe the internet, social media, television, or simply the pace of contemporary society, we are losing our ability to connect with one another. The Christian intellectual Os Guinness once wrote, "The outcome of instant total information is inflation. When more and more of anything is available, less and less is valuable." More than ever in our world of endless information, we must ask the deeper questions. Why has God given us the ability to communicate? Why do words have power? How does God expect us to use the gifts of speech and communication? How is communication in modern life transforming our use of words? Forgetting how to talk. We speak all day, but rarely think about the words we say. I, Ken, realized this on a recent trip to the Netherlands with my dad and two of my daughters. I lived in the Netherlands between the ages of 3 and 7 because my father had been stationed there with the Navy. These early childhood years are some of the most formative for learning a language, and I became fluent in Dutch. In fact, I became too fluent, or at least my parents thought so. Fearing I would lose some of my native tongue, they transferred me from a Dutch school to an English-speaking one. And when we returned to the States, I wasn't allowed to speak Dutch, only English, so that I could catch up with my peers. I distinctly remember the day my dad spoke Dutch to me again after 2 years of living stateside. I had absolutely no idea what he was saying. My ability to speak the language fluently and intuitively had vanished quicker than it had come. Language is a lot like a muscle. Use it, and it becomes stronger. Neglect it, and it atrophies. To this day, I give my dad a hard time for having me speak only English during those years.